All right, good morning. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. Interesting open here in the market. I know I've used that word interesting a few times, but we have some things to do here for the challenge, and gonna go out and do them right now. All right, we have J.P. Morgan hitting our stop exit level. 135.89 is the exit level there. So going to go and take that 135.79 is where it sits right now. So need to move out of JP Morgan. So I'm just going to close that position here. And let's just, I'll just market order it. And boom, 120. 124. So I got some at 126, some at 124. So we'll put 124 here. But out of JP Morgan at 124. Okay, let's get that filled in here. So not a fun trade. Down 600 on it. Yeah, not great. Not great. But hey, we're still in a good spot. But out here 2:21 a.m. Okay. All right. Now we have Halliburton and gold. We have Halliburton and gold here. And Halliburton and gold are not at their stop levels. GOLD here did go up and hit its profit level this morning. Has backed off of that a little bit. And Halliburton here has, pushed on down to the 200-day moving average, broken below the lower Bollinger Band here. Nice kind of one-day follow-through to yesterday's reversal with the stock down 4%. Okay, and I'm going to go and take both of them. I'm going to sell both positions, and I will talk about it here in just a little bit after I sell them. I'll talk about why and what the mentality and process here is with it. But out at 155 on Hal. Okay, so 155 on Hal. So we made about 50% on it. Okay. And then with GOLD, I'm going to go take it. I'm just going to take the rest of all the position. We'll close this trade finally and, be done with GOLD for now. So out at 240 on GOLD. Let me make sure all these alerts have gone out, have a thumbs up, and then we'll go talk about them. Okay. Are we good? We good, Jason? Yeah. All right. Perfect. All right. Perfect. So out of GOLD here at 240. And out of Halliburton, what was that price? Let me double check it. The Halliburton exit was 155. There we go. All right. 2:21 a.m. The exits for all of those, and we are now in all cash for the challenge. Now, challenge is at 6,500. So we've hit our first double, right? And not too bad after that kick in the teeth to start the challenge. Hitting the first double here, nice. Nice to see. Gold has helped us in a tremendous way here. And then Halliburton, JP Morgan, they kind of just offset each other a little bit. Didn't really help us, tremendously. But, going to cash right here. Now, couple reasons, right? Number one, gold. It's we've been in it forever. It's been running. It's been great. Time to take it and go. There are some signs that, hey, you know what? Are we about at a top? but at the same time, I don't think they're great signs. But it is just one where, all right, ready to take it, ready to move on, and we'll wait for the next entry point, as we did hit our profit level this morning and did back off of that. So slight cheating there with it. But at the same time, I don't want to be in a position where I'm holding GOLD into the close today on it reversing and possibly going negative. I don't think that will happen, but there is a chance that we see that. Halliburton, J.P. Morgan, what's going on, and even to some extent with GOLD. We have about $400, $500, somewhere in that area estimated in Vega bump. Implied volatility bump here with what the market has done and what the individual stocks have done. We have seen the implied volatilities go up. And when it comes to JP Morgan, one Vega point is $120. So we probably got about a $280 to $320 bump on that, where we should be down quite a bit more, but we aren't because of the implied volatility bump. We have some implied volatility bump coming into Halliburton, and we even got a nice little bump in gold. So, it's one where if things flatten out or just stabilize here this afternoon, we'll see that implied volatility come on out. So, with JP Morgan hitting its exit target, it's a no-brainer. Take it and go. With Hal and gold, okay, just ready to take the double, ready to kind of just, cash in some of that extra implied volatility, and, we'll look to, enter on the next signal. Now that takes to the second point, right? This is only the second time in the automated challenge where I've done this, where I've, taken all the positions off the board and gone. I did it once in the first automated challenge that we did when we hit 10K, and it was something where I didn't take it because it hit 10K. I took it because of what was kind of going on out there and where our positions were. But 10K was a nice number to go to cash in. But this, all right, we have our first double, great. Looking for definitely more than that, but just with things how they are out there, anyway, that's where I'm at. Right? That's where it's at. I can't argue with anybody who wants to hold them, who wants to continue to run with them. I can't argue against it. I can't give you a great argument to say, well, you know what, take your gold off here or else, you're in trouble, blah, blah, blah. It just, there isn't a great one there. Now, what we do have a good potential to see is, a lot of new signals come into the market here today or into the watch list. This is the downside crossover list. We saw this on, Wednesday? Massive downside crossover list. The other days we've had kind of a mix here with it. But Bank of America, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, EOG Resources, Facebook, General Motors, JP Morgan, Microsoft, Micron, Nike, Oracle, Starbucks. The S&P has a downside 3.7 crossover. And I'm not going to trade the S&P. But, that downside crossover, we don't see that happen very much. Last time it happened was back here in January. The prior time was back here in December. So we've seen it happen about once a month here of late. And each time we've had a little bit of sell-off, come in here to it. Today, just kind of filling yesterday's shadow. We talked about that potential yesterday. This morning, small caps are not enough to hold it up. And, the breakdown of small caps is, pretty major here. And if things were to close here, we do have a sizable shift in the metrics, a sizable shift. And, we'll see how they hold up. But we have a lot of downside 3.7 crossovers. We have a sizable shift here in the metric. We have a interesting implied volatility bump here. So it's something where I don't expect to go into the weekend in cash, given where a lot of these sit and how a lot of these are positioned. But we'll see. So far, none of them are triggering. UPS, Bank of America, they all have potential to trigger. In fact, Bank of America and JP Morgan both have decent potential of downside signals here today. Their consolidation risk component is pretty low. Microsoft and Micron, if we take a look at them, Microsoft coming off of highs, Micron coming off of highs, so chances of signaling are very slim. But then, we take a look at things like a Chevron, a Conoco. I know I just sold Halliburton, but we could easily see a bearish signal come into, one of these more integrated oils, to be able to get back into the space here with Conoco or Chevron or even EOG. And then, some consumer names, the Starbuckses of the world, with the downside crossover action. We have JD, which isn't going to trigger, but in that kind of consumer space. And then General Motors. And this is a stock that I would love to play a bearish trigger on. We'll see if we get it. But, if we take a look at a weekly chart of General Motors, you can see how long it's been consolidating. Just going nowhere. If we back this out a little bit more to a monthly, you kind of see what that looks like. And, if you look at the fundamentals on it and kind of where they're going, to see this dip down into the 28, 26 level again, I would not be surprised to see. So we'll see if we get a signal on it here this afternoon. If we do, I will look to go after it. But things like MGM that had a potential for an up signal yesterday, giving that up, nothing there. Oracle is one that has had an interesting time here of late. But, just enough to bounce back up. Now has a downside 3-7 crossover on it. We could see Oracle trigger, possibly. But, again, we're dealing with a rising 20-day moving average. So, the odds aren't tremendous. But still potential there. And so we have quite a few potentials on the board, to be able to go jump into this afternoon. Ideally, we'll see some of the implied volatilities, settle out a little bit around lunchtime. And see some of the option values, compress just a little bit, and give us a good opportunity to go after one of these signals. But for now, challenge is in all cash. We've hit our first double, and took it and ran. And we'll look to we'll look to carry on, here with the next signals. Thanks for hopping on. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you this afternoon. Take care.